So I knew then that it was over. Sure enough, the DEA pulled up right behind them. They had the dog. They were just waiting on me. Somebody had snitched on me. I was leaving that day to coming back. So I ended up hiring a lawyer, and I ended up getting a 7-year stint. But my lawyer had worked something out. I was young, so I was like, I knew that, hey, you know, if I had to handle my business, I'm gonna handle my business. You know, I always talk to my cousins, and they would tell me, man, Johnny, look, somebody disrespects you, you don't let nobody run all over you. And if you got to fight, fight. Just simple as that. Don't bow down on nobody. I knew that going in, and needs to say, my first time it was smooth sailing. I didn't get in any trouble, so it was. And again, I was in there for about a year, a little bit under that, and because I made parole, I only had 7 years, and it's weird in prison that. Got busted with the drugs I got busted with, and I did less time than people that get DWIs. I ended up coming home. I got let back into college, and I ended up graduating. By that time, I had moved to Austin, and my daughter was born, oldest daughter, so she lived in Houston, so I made a decision to come back to Houston. When I came back to Houston, I ran into some of my old friends. I ran into him at a strip club, and he goes, here, and he gave me an ounce of coke. And he goes, I said, man, you know I don't do drugs. He goes, I know you don't. He goes, but I know what you can do with that. He goes, put yourself back on your feet. Do what you gotta do, man. Throw it away, I don't care. Flush it down the toilet. He knew I wasn't gonna do that. So at that point, I put together my team, you know, some family members, and we just started hustling. But I knew, I said, look, I wasn't gonna be the guy on the bottom. I said, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this right. That's what just started me right there. Boom, that was my stepping stone. Started small, local, just local. I was the local guy, and I started meeting different people, like at clubs, at the strip clubs. Everywhere I met, I'd talk to people. I'd see people, and I could just tell that they were in a dope gang. We have a saying, "Money see money," right? It's funny because I had a lot of guys from Louisiana, and every time I would run into, I said, man, what part? And I could tell they were from Louisiana. And I said, what part of the boot are you from? They're like, boot? I said, what do you know about the boot? I said, man, I know about the boot. I know about the flat. You know, that's Lafayette, West Bank in New Orleans. Different places I knew. I said, in the business that we in, I said, I'm a black man's dream come true. They're like, what's that? The Mexican connect you always wanted. and I mean, I would literally meet people just by talking to them. Like, I always knew where to go, what clubs to go. If I want to expand my business, that's what I did. I had my team. When I got busted the second time, we probably moved about $1.5 to $2 million worth of cocaine. These hands right here, I've counted $1 million in one city 3 times in my life, over $1 million. I was making money every day. We had a shipment going out. Every day we had some kind of shipment going out. At my time, my business partner and I, we were part owners of a club in Midtown at the time. This one, Midtown, was like hopping, just had barely became like a spot to go to. So we did that. I mean, I was out and about every night. I thought myself successful, right? I was making, money hand over fist coming in. I remember I'd walk out the house with like $10,000 in my pocket, hundreds in my pocket, like go spend it on whatever, didn't care, because I knew more money was coming in. This money was just constantly coming in. As long as we could be in supply, but we could sell, we were selling it. Going wherever, doing whatever I wanted to do, going wherever I wanted to go, not waiting in line. I remember going to this club in downtown, and we were there, and I told the bartender, I said, hey, I want every bottle of champagne that you have. I said, it's Moet, Cristal, Dom Perignon, I don't care, all of it. It'd be like 12, 13 bottles. That's what they had. I bought them all. I ain't drink one single bottle. Me and my buddy. I mean, we were just celebrating, passing bottles around. We were drinking, and people would ask us, man, what else is life, baby? Just life, I was just like, just being on top, right? That's what, at that point in my life, that's what it was like, you know? And then, unfortunately, my dad's birthday. Went back to the warehouse, I had some people coming in. I worked with a couple different groups. So I had one guy come in, drop me off some, and then I had the second guy come in, but needless to say, he was being followed by the DEA. When he left, he got pulled over by the money. When I left, I had 5 bricks, 5 kilos in my truck. I just bought this truck on a Friday, and I'd taken it to go get a pop spot, put in it. I drove it to the airport on Monday and Tuesday, and I got busted in on Wednesday. And when I got busted, I said, I just had them in the backseat. I didn't even put them in my spot. I remember leaving my warehouse, getting on the beltway, and I see this cop just flying. I'm like, shit, I ain't speeding. He's just flying in and out of traffic, lights on. So I exited, and then he exited also. I was like, oh shit, they got me. Sure enough, they pulled me over. By this time, I had already made some phone calls and said, hey man, they got me. They pulled me over, they get me out of the truck. I had like 4 phones on me. Like, oh damn, baller shit, Mr. Pimp. That's what he told me. And I'm like, no. So they ended up checking my truck and find, of course, they find what they find, and they take me back to my warehouse. And it's like you see it on the movies, you know, they were masked up, AKs. They had my workers, my lawn workers, my landscape workers on the floor. They had them laid out, and I was like, man, it's like, hey, you need to sign here to search your warehouse. I said, no, I'm not signing anything. It's like, no, we need you to sign. I said, if not, all of y'all go to prison. We're taking all of y'all down. I said, hold up. I said, they ain't got nothing to do with it. My workers, right? And I said, look, y'all let them go and I'll sign. I'll sign whatever you want me to sign. I'll let them go. So they ended up letting them go, and I signed the release, and they went in, they searched my warehouse. They found like another 7 kilos of cocaine in the warehouse, a bunch of money, some firearms, and that was it. I went down. But yeah, and so I went to prison. You know, I remember paying for it. I had a lawyer. He came and saw me, and my lawyer told me, he was like, I remember telling him, I said, look, man, I got $250,000. Shit, get me out, make it happen. I said, I'll get you another quarter, then when that's over with. He said, just get me out. He was like, Johnny, don't work that way. I was like, you're kind of like the movies, right? So I was like, he was like, nah, he goes, you don't realize, because you got $1 million bond. He goes, if you make bond, that's $100,000. Okay, the DEA busts you, the feds are gonna pick you up right away. Like, where did you get 100 grand from? He came and talked to me a few times, and I remember he told me, he goes, man, they're trying to come at you with 25 to life. He was like, no, he goes, I can get you down to 120 months, which is a 10-year stint. I said, but I'm gonna do 85% of my time, which is 8.5 years of that 10 years. I said, I'll be out before that on good time, work time, and straight time on TDC. And he told me, he was like, well, let me see what I can do. So he personally knew he went and talked to personally knew the DA from Harris County and Brazoria County. So he went and talked with them and told them pretty much that I would say yes to convictions, that they would give me the minimum. And they ended up giving me 15 years in Harris County for manufacturing and delivery of a controlled substance over 400 grams. And then in Brazoria County, they dropped me down to just a possession charge. So they gave me 10 years there, and they ran it concurrent CC, which is my 15 years ate up my 10 years. So I remember signing for Harris County time. They shipped me down to Brazoria, was there for a few months, and nothing was going on. It's just, the legal process going back and forth to court. I ended up getting shipped to a ranch. I went to the holiday unit, was there for a few months, and then got shipped back to Brazoria County, was there for a few months, and then went back to the holiday unit, then got shipped to Beaumont, to Larry Giss. I got what's called an FI-5. So an FI-5 is you go to the in-prison therapeutic center. kind of like a drug treatment, right? And it went quick. You know, before I knew it, I left that ranch like within days. Boom, they shipped me out to another ranch. I was there for a couple of days and then finally ended up at Brownwood. Did 6 months there. And I remember even there, my parents came and saw me twice. It was a trip for them. It was hard for them to come out there and see me, right? But before Christmas, I had already hit my knees and told the Lord to change me, right? And I was like, Lord, I'm gonna be the same guy when I get out of here. I'm gonna go down the same path. I said, you were never lost. I was the one that's lost. I said, just change me. And I remember the day they were voting for me and I was praying, I was like, Lord, I said, if it's your will, I'm gonna stay here. But you say nothing's too big for you. All these lawyers telling me that I'm not gonna get out. Hey, if you say I'm getting out, I'm getting out. I was praying that, and then I said, well, if not, guess what? I'm gonna start doing my time my way. The hell with this. So when I was in prison, I was still involved. I was involved in the drug trade. I was in extortion, just different things. Any kind of criminal activity, I had my hand in it. So that was Christmas Day. My mom and daughter came and saw me. I was hungover, so I almost missed my visit. They kept calling my name. I was like, oh shit, I'm late. And I run out there and they take me out to go see, my mom and my daughter. And my mom starts crying when she sees me. And I was like, oh shit, she's bringing me bad news. And I remember telling her, grabbing her hand and say, Mom, it's okay. I said, look, don't worry about it. I said, I'll be up for parole another 10 months. I said, I won't get in any trouble. I'll make sure that, hey, I stay clean and whatnot. She was like, no, mijo, because you made parole. I go, what did you say, Mom? She was like, yeah, you made parole. And I started crying. You ain't supposed to cry in prison, man. I started crying. I was like, thank you. To say, Jesus, we started praying. I finally made parole. I'm coming home, right? So, and they came and picked me up there, right, to bring me to the halfway house. And I remember then, I was like, I'm never coming back. I'm never coming back, right? I said, I'm done. I'm not coming back. I'm not allowing. They done took, almost 3 years of my life. I'm not coming back. And, biblically speaking, the Bible talks about, knocking the dirt off your sandals when you leave a town that you're never going to come back, right? So I did that, knocked the dirt off my shoes. I said, Lord Jesus, I'm never coming back. And came to the halfway house. I was on a Thursday, July 15th. And my mom came to me and she was like, she brought me a paper sack. And she goes, mijo, here's your stuff. And she was like, I go, Mom, what about this? And she was like, no, you don't understand. This is everything you own is in this paper sack. I was like, you're kidding me, right? She was like, no. So she was just happy that I was home, this and that. And I was happy to, even though part of my release was I had to go to that in-prison therapeutic center, right? That drug treatment program in prison. I had to do 3 months in a halfway house and 3 months on a house arrest before I was released completely. So that was on Thursday. That Saturday, my cousin came and saw me. Right? He goes, hey, what's up, baby? What's up? Da, da, da. He goes, our people from Mexico want to talk to you.